a lively tonight, and how do you envision kind of that tag team going forward?
Yeah, I thought Lively was great. To be able to play the 17 minutes, to give us that, he gave us a boost, the energy. Defensively, offensively, he was really, really good. So it was good for him to get those 17 minutes under his belt before he goes up to Indiana to play in the baby All-Star game, and then to come back and get ready, for the second half.
You put PJ on Wembanyama for some possessions. What did you see? What did you like about that?
I just love what PJ's doing defensively for us. He's guarding everyone, and he's guarding them at a high level, and so that gives us depth to be able to play him on bigs or bigger wings or even smalls. And so to just see that here in the short time, his defense is above par, and we need that. And the other beauty of what he brings is that, he's not calling for the ball offensively. He just lets the game come to him. And his ability to play make down, we wanted to see him, play make, and I thought he would make some great passes and great reads. So just to see him comfortable, but defensively, I think him and Maxey give us, something that we can definitely use going down the stretch here.
Going into the break now, you guys obviously are rolling a little bit with 6 wins. How do you feel just overall about the uptick that you've seen out of this team in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think that, the key word is team. I think we're coming together. We're starting to get healthy. And so that's going to, be a little bit of a change because we're not used to being healthy. So minutes won't be as high, and so guys have to make that adjustment. But our depth should be one of our weapons, and also, our pace, being able to play fast. That's something that we talked about at the beginning of the year. We've been limited due to bodies, but now that we're getting healthy, I think we can play fast, and I think that'll help our defense. But it should be exciting second half.
As far as getting healthy goes, do you have a feel for whether Exum might be available after coming out of the break, or what a potential timetable is there?
Great question. Hopefully he's back for practice on Tuesday. And then if he's back on Tuesday, I can give you a better answer. But I think his workouts have been great up to this point. We're expecting him back after the break. But on Tuesday, I think I can answer that better for you. Yeah, Tuesday.
After Wembanyama gets a few early blocks, is it enjoyable for you? Is it fun when you see Kyrie going at him and finding ways to finish over and around him?
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing to watch Kai and his short game, his ability, to use the glass, the English. I didn't know what he was going to do with the one, he got under the basket. He quicked him a little bit. Victor didn't know what to do. Kai knew exactly what he was doing and scored. But Kai can score, and again, I thought his leadership today was big because it's easy for a game like this to get away from you. In our first quarter, we were a little sluggish there, but he kept us in it, and then he led us, throughout the game. But his finishing is like no other, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
I haven't mentioned your other All-Star, but what did you just think of Luka, and especially his little spin cycle move there?
Yeah. I thought he was going to get dizzy as much as he was going in circles. He's playing at a high level right now. He should be mentioned more in the MVP conversation of what he's done here this month. And heading into Indiana, he's one of the best in the world. So we wish him the best of luck with that. But he also needs to get some rest and get ready because, everyone's bunched up. 1 through 4 is bunched up, 5 through 9 is bunched up. So every game is going to mean something, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
How did it feel being back?
It felt amazing, being out there with my family again, being able to bring the energy and just come out, finish out the first 2/3 of the season. So we had this All-Star break and just going out there and get a dub. Feels amazing.
Has the mask grown on you?
First time I put it on, it was rough. And then you just got to slowly make more modifications so that you can, play with it and be able to be used to it. So now, just trying to go out there and just play more and more with it so I can get more and more used to it.
How long are you going to have to wear it post All-Star break?
I'm probably going to have to wear it for the next 3-4 weeks. just being able to make sure my nose heals straight and everything like that.
Does it impact vision or is it just a comfort thing?
It's like a comfort thing, just being able to, like, you have like a muzzle on, so you just got to be able to just get used to it.
What does it mean to you guys be heading into this break playing as good as you have these last few weeks?
Just being able to show how good we can play whenever, we still have a couple mistakes going on. So we know that if we just clean up on those mistakes, clean up on a couple intangible things, we know that we could just take what we've done so far and just blow it out of proportion. Just being able to make sure we get more and more wins and just try to keep going.
You and Gafford obviously have similar games. What do you think of what you've seen from him so far? And kind of how that tag team will.
I feel like he fits into this team amazing. He's bringing the energy. He's always talking, and he's a great character. So just being able to know he has a high energy, a high motor. He's going out there chasing every board, going after every shot. Just being able to have another person like that on the team just makes it that much easier for me.
Fortunately, it wasn't that long away from the court for your action time here tonight, but during that time off, were you able to tap into any different ways on how to still work on your game?
Just being able to just watch film, being able to just try to do little things where I'm using my hands or just doing hand-eye coordination things. I've been building a lot of Legos, so I could definitely say that that's been just looking for the pieces, looking at the paper. That's definitely been helping with my hands. Just being able to just make sure I'm always locked in and just learning things from the floor too.
Favorite Lego piece that you've made?
Oh, that's hard. I made a dinosaur, made a ship, made a giraffe, made some cars, but I'm not even gonna get in all that.
Miles Turner does that too.
Yep. But it's his thing. I'm just having fun with it.
Okay. I was just wondering. I was just like, maybe this is like all 7-footers.
Yeah, maybe, man.
So when you see Wembanyama block a couple shots and early on, and then as the game goes on, Kyrie is keeps going at him and finding ways to finish over him or through him on one. Like, from your perspective, is that enjoyable? Like, what's enjoyable?
That's crazy. It's crazy just being able to see him use both hands so efficiently. Being able to see him put the ball in his left hand and he's still comfortable with the ball in his right hand. He's able to be acrobatic in the air. He's able to make finishes. And I know everybody on the sidelines and even on the court is like, wow, there's no way he just did that. Just being able to have a play like that on the floor just makes that thing. It makes everything just kind of flow very well. Because when we get stuck on being able to score, we give the ball to Kai and Kai figures things out.
What are you hoping to enjoy or accomplish or do in Indianapolis?
Honestly, I'm just going there to learn and just have an amazing time. It's my first time being there, so I have no clue what it's going to be like. So it's really just going there with an open mind, open perspective, and just trying to have a good time.
Last time you were at the podium, you talked about trust. When you guys were down, how much did that trust factor in to coming back?
It factored a lot. And just being able to make sure that in our rotations we have to be able to help the helper. And just being able to talk and just being able to make sure that when we throw the pass, we trust who the pass is going to. So no matter if someone's missing the shot, we're going to put them in the same position to hit the shot the next possession.
What have you seen from PJ Washington defensively?
Honestly, he's been a pest. He's been exactly what we needed, and he's honestly exceeded everything I thought. It's being able to, he's talking, he's always in help lanes, he's always trying to cover somebody's back, and that's what we need. So just being able to have his energy and have his effort out there is amazing.
Backhand's coming along.
Yeah, daughter's into tennis. Hey, who knows what could happen out of that? Yeah. Try it. Questions?
What's it like to try to find ways to finish over Wembanyama?
You said, what is it like?
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, from my perspective, I remember the first game of the season. He was, entry to the league. He blocked my shot. I don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? Right side of history. But yeah, he's just a force down there, and he has great timing. You can tell he really studies the game well. And on the defensive end, there's not much that he can't do. So for him to, or for me to get the best of him on that one possession, it felt good. But, moving in the future, I don't know how many more I could get off on him just because of how much ground he covers. But it was an exciting play. I'm grateful I converted it.
You actually had a few finishes over him, and with him or any shot blocker, What's kind of the decision-making process for you as far as how to finish?
The first thing is no fear. Once you step in that paint and you take off, especially off of 1 foot or off of 2 feet, you want to safely land. Be aware of the contact, know how strong the bigs are before you attack. And even if there's a guard down there that's a good defender too, it's just to limit their athletic ability. I have to be crafty around the rim. Sometimes I could finish over guys, but a lot of them are trying to block shots when I get close to the rim. So I like to play in that in-between area between, like 16 feet to like 1 foot, and be very efficient down there. So when I see bigs in front of me, I feel like I have an advantage when I can use the rim as protection, and I know that I can convert it at a high rate. So that's what I'm thinking when I go to the lane. Just be creative, be imaginative, but also go to finish. I had a lot of coaches growing up, when I was playing on their teams, and they didn't really like or appreciate some of my creativity in the air until I made my layups at a very high efficient rate. So I don't blame them again. But a lot of practice. I've been working on these finishes since about 7th, 8th grade.
Is that the Rod Strickland influence?
That is Dereck Irving influence, with my Uncle Rod being my godfather and, exemplifying greatness for 17 years in his own way, playing in the NBA. And I didn't get a chance to work out with him when I was growing up. It was mainly just me and my dad. But as I got older, I started appreciating his journey a lot more. And he played 17 years in the NBA. That's no small feat. So I'm really proud of him. I'm happy that I have a mentor in my life such as him that I can call on anytime. And he gives me a ton of advice, especially finish around those bigs, which I appreciate.
You found a major rhythm in the second quarter and for the remainder of the game. Was there anything that you saw or anything in particular?
Yeah, no, we had to get it going, man. We had to get it going. We had to manufacture the energy to be able to get the lead, at least going into halftime. And we knew playing from behind against this team, we don't want to leave it up to that. We wanted to put our foot on the gas pedal, get out and on the break, get some easy transition points, and let everybody touch the ball, feel good about it, have a good rhythm, and then, most importantly, just lock down on defense. We started paying attention to our game plan in that second quarter a little bit more. I know Sweeney and J. Kidd were happy about that, but we got to demand that out of ourselves in the beginning of the game. But even if it doesn't happen, we still got to have that resilience and be able to battle back.
I've seen a little more you and Luka two-man game over the past few games. What have you liked from that? What's been working, and is that going to continue trending?
Yeah, easy pickings. Easy pickings once we get into that 1-3 pick and roll or 3-1 pick and roll or 1-2, whatever you want to call it. It's a high efficient play for us, and when I'm making a decision on the back end or he's making a decision on the back end, that's a successful play for our team.
You guys are getting healthier. You've won 6 in a row. You're running and going into the break on a nice roll. How do you feel about the uptick you've seen out of this team in the last couple weeks?
Proud of our guys that we're making incremental progress, and it's about us and everybody that's in that locker room and staying focused and continuing to get our work in on off days and do the little things to be prepared to play whatever amount of minutes that coach asks you to. So I think once we've matured in that sense of being able to lock into our roles, then you're seeing some high-level basketball, highly successful basketball being played.
Dereck mentioned his excitement going into his first All-Star weekend. Advice for him in that area?
Yeah, enjoy it. I remember my first in Orlando. Get a chance to pick a lot of the guys' brains, a lot of your peers' brains, and it's about you. You've been chosen as one of the rising stars, and that's no small feat. He's played well for us this season. He's been a huge, impactful player for us, and I'm just happy for him that he gets to experience that, being around some of the best in the world, and really see what it's like. Sometimes it could be overwhelming at first once you get there, a little nerve-wracking, but once the ball goes up in the air and you see all the fans and especially the kids, the kids enjoy that weekend the most. And I don't want to call D-Live a kid because he's turned 20, so I don't want to disrespect him, but it'd be good for him to play in front of his peers, some of the kids there.
Harry, how pivotal and impactful has PJ Washington's defense been for this ball club?
Very impactful, very impactful. We don't take it for granted, and we appreciate him doing the little things for us to be successful in these last few games. To get traded in the middle of the season is not easy. So we really feel for him. And going into this All-Star break, even like tonight, I told him, I said, once you play a few more games with us, you'll stop deferring to me and Luka and just be yourself out there and command the ball. You're playing with some selfless individuals that are some big gamers, so we know the rhythm of the game and who needs to get involved. But tonight showed his maturity to be able to not shoot the ball particularly well, not get as many shots, not be involved in the offensive end, but still commit himself to defensive end. That's a trait of a winner. So we want him to continue that.
Sorry. You mentioned your father earlier, and he was sitting there courtside. What does it feel like? I know he's been at many games, but just what does it feel like for you to see him there courtside supporting you and with a team that you found your peace and happiness with?
Yeah, my dad's proud of me. He's happy for me, and I think he can speak for himself. If you ever get a chance to talk with him, not many people get a chance to get to know him, know the foundation of where I come from. People just assume that I just dropped out of thin air, and you know what I mean. Like my parents are not involved or anything like that. But my dad is truly influential in my life, and he's seen millions of my games. So you guys are enjoying things that you get to see for the past few years, but my dad has seen it since I was 4 or 5 years old. So, when we have our moments to talk about how I can get better, those are the things I appreciate. But the most important role that he plays in my life is just being a great father and being there for me as a man. He's imperfect, I'm imperfect, and he's just consistently giving me advice and telling me that he's an open book. He's seen a lot of life in this world. He has a lot of experience. He's been around the league for a while too, with my godfather being the NBA. So he's been around the lifestyle. He's very familiar with it. And he just wants me to have peace of mind every single day I wake up and knowing I have a supportive family behind me every single day. This lifestyle could get very lonely sometimes when you're in those hotel rooms or traveling and trying to be the best of the best. Not a lot of people understand. Not a lot of people get it. So to have, one parent in my life or two parents with my stepmom as well, supporting me, it means the world to me.
PJ and him trusting himself. Mm-hmm. But I know D-Live has talked about trust within the team. How much does that factor into games like tonight and just games overall?
Say that first part one time.
About PJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, about PJ trusting himself.
Oh yeah.
Overall factor in games like tonight and just games overall.
Oh yeah, it's a huge factor. Again, I'll speak to his maturity. We don't see. I don't want to say we don't see a lot of young guys, but sometimes it takes young guys a little while. It took me a while to figure out how to win with quality teammates and to fulfill a role without getting too emotionally stressed over playing well in the offensive end or not getting the ball, especially playing with guys that are highly efficient. That's an adjustment period, but I feel like, he's integrated himself very well. I know him being at Kentucky helped. Not having the ball all the time and doing the little things. So it's the same thing here. You're playing with some high-level players that make the game easy. You don't have to overthink it. You do the little things that help us win, and we'll be very successful. And that's what I'm going to continue to reiterate to him when we're out there. And then moving forward, we'll get him a few more post-ups, get him some touches when he needs to feel that rhythm, and that should answer all his questions.